Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dudes and dudettes, we are back with another episode of the Real Brothers Podcast.
Woo, woo.
Yeah, it's your boy Denzel.
And it's your boy Dustin.
And we are here today because we're actually going to take a moment to get real and kind of reflect on our journey. You know, obviously we're brothers. We're 2 years apart and we were raised together, but we were raised kind of we were raised together, but we also had our own issues, I would say, growing up. Like we had two different perspectives on life, singular life, not lives. But yeah, growing up was definitely, before I even get there, I just think it'll be great for us to have a moment to actually get real, since we have the opportunity on the Real Brothers Podcast to get real, and it only makes sense. So, you know, it's like, hey, let's do it now. Let's rip the Band-Aid off and just go back a bit. And whether it hurts or not, we're going to talk about it because it was definitely part of our story. So
let's do it.
Yeah, definitely. And I would say, like I said, we're 2 years apart. We're brothers. And growing up, we were raised as twins, right? I was so excited to be here. Like, what? Oh, my gosh, life. I look at life like it's so exciting. As soon as I got here, he actually slapped me as soon as they brought me home. Yeah, my dad tells me the story all the time. He slapped me in the face, like one good solid slap. He's an envious person.
I'm really not.
So why'd you slap me?
I mean, to this day, you still deserve to be slapped. Like, ain't nothing changed from when you was a baby till now.
And we used to get into a lot of fights growing up. Like, one time my mom actually told you, like, yo, you got to chill before you hurt your brother. You were very angry.
I was.
Did I make you angry? Like, would I annoy you?
No, I think I was just born with some sort of, like, anger issue. Like, I don't know. I just used to be angry as a kid. But I never really realized, like, yo, like, I take it out on you, per se. But I guess you was, like, a punching bag.
I'm a lot of people's punching bag in the family. Like, my dad's punching bag, your punching bag. Sometimes my mom's punching bag. Like, a lot growing up, everyone would, like, blame me for something that went wrong in the house. Like, whether something's missing.
Okay. It would be your fault.
It would be my fault. You see? Gaslight. This is crazy.
87% of the time, it would be your fault.
I just want to say one time, you know, before we could go outside and, like, play with our friends after school or whatever, we'll have to eat our food. Like, we have to eat all of our food. So my older brother, we call him Poppy. So Poppy one day was like, all right, eat your food, guys, and then you could go outside and play. I ate all my food this one day because I was really trying to go outside. But this guy did not finish his food. So when Pop came downstairs and looked in the trash to see if there was any food in there, he had trash. He had food, like leftover food, all in the trash. And also, at this point, Pop was like, Den, I can't believe you put this in here. I was like, no, it was not me. I'm an honest person. So I'm like, no, it wasn't me. I promise you, it wasn't me. D sits there and just watches me. He watches me as he walks through the door to go outside freely to go play with the friends. And I was sitting there crying because I couldn't go outside. And he never stood up for me to be like, no, that's actually mine. Like, you know, he was like, yeah, I'm about to watch you drown. That was literally his whole MO. So I just want to say, this is how I got the shit under the stick, as he sat there and just went outside and did his thing. And he never, still to this day, I don't think he ever came clean about it. Does Pop even know what you've done?
Before you continue with your BS, are we going to roll the intro?
We can roll the intro. Let's do it. And we're back. Welcome, Janae.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm doing better than I was the last time.
Right, you were sick. We all were sick. Oh my gosh.
I mean, you can still hear it because it's still there a little bit, but it's just mucus. It'll be okay.
Yo, this past week, we were definitely like sick. Like Janae had like mucus issues. She had a cough attack.
Yeah.
I had like a sinus infection. And D was just like coasting by. It was like he would feel it one day and then the next, he would be feeling great.
It's like he was coughing like every other business day.
Right, exactly. And for me, I was really worried because I booked this like ad campaign with Google, and I was just like,
how was that?
And that was like really fun. I'm not gonna
Really?
lie. I was a little nervous because obviously like I wasn't feeling 100%, but I thugged it out. Thank God I felt better by the day of shooting, and I killed it. I got there like I was the first model on the call sheet. I feel like I did the most that day, and I was like, yo, I'm not even 100%, but I'm still killing it. But it was a pretty good day. Met a lot of different like people, and everyone was just pretty cool and chill. It was probably like about 40 person set, I would say. Maybe 30 person. Maybe like between that, 30 to 40 people.
Okay.
But it was like a really calm, cool like set. Everyone was fun. And even though it wasn't anyone's first rodeo, it was this one guy's first rodeo. He owns like this biotech company that sells cannabis, which is really dope. He's new to modeling. This was his first gig that he booked.
Wow.
Right? And that was like really dope.
Wow.
I met this other girl who was from like East Sudan, and she's a plus size model. And she just started like this year, but she's been at this for like a few years. But like this year has been really successful for her. So
Ooh, I love
shout out
that.
to Nancy. Yeah, her
Ooh,
name was Nancy.
Love you.
Met a
Shout
lot
outs
of
to Nancy.
I met a lot of cool folks. So it's definitely dope. Definitely dope. I had a lot of fun. But I'm just happy that we're back here, and I'm feeling better now. Better now. Post Malone. Shout outs to him. He's still alive, Janae. He is still alive. The other day, Janae was like, "Is he still alive?" I don't know, Janae. Yes, he is alive. Yeah. Yes.
Whew, what? He's just not an artist that I typically would listen to. So it's a valid question.
I understand.
Inquiry.
So because you wouldn't listen to them.
Okay,
they have
no, like
to be-
again, tomato. Like I don't understand. Like, like it is what it is,
D used to listen to a lot of G Unit growing up. Like that was like your favorite crew, right? Hip hop crew growing up. Like Young Buck, Lloyd Banks, 50 Cent. G Unit.
50 Cent,
50
not
Cent.
cents.
50 Cent, same thing. He's still Curtis Jackson.
Where's
Shout
this
out to
going?
Cuban Link.
Not shout out to Cuban. Of course you're gonna
Love
shout out
her.
the girlfriend. Nah, but G Unit, we grew up in Queens, so I think you were like, yeah, G Unit. You had like you felt like extra amp because it was like, yo, they were repping Queens, Southside Jamaica, Queens, dirty. You heard me? I don't know who said that, but it's just been in my head since birth. Like,
But yeah, I think that's probably why. Like, I feel like the Queens like similarity and just being familiar is just like, yeah, I resonate more with them than like a lot of the other people like Dipset or like The Lox, like Jadakiss and them.
yeah,
I'm like, yeah, nah, it ain't it. G Unit is where it's at.
I love Dipset, by the way, growing up. I think it was like, they was just different. They had mad swag, drippy, drip. Like, everything about them. D did not like them. He was like, yo, they're so trash. So trash.
I still stand on that.
Right?
Cameron would say, Tutti Frutti, Ruby, she got a big booty, and everybody's like, woohoo! Bars. And I'm like,
It wasn't a bar, but
bro, what is this, nursery?
it was how he said it.
Yeah,
it was
maybe
like,
it was just like the vibe that
he was
gave
riding
off.
the beat. The flow was
Like, because
in
like his
pocket.
vibe was very drippy. Like, he was just a vibey person.
Yeah, Purple City Burger.
Like, he would wear like all pink. Like,
I mean, I like
different
a
shades
couple
of
of
it.
Cameron songs, but I wouldn't say like I was like a big fan.
I feel that. But we were like heavily influenced. Like our older brother Pop used to play a lot of hip hop, like Nas, Jay-Z. He even put me on a Sade. Like, remember he used to like
Oh yeah,
all
facts.
types, even Alicia Keys. Like, it was so much
yeah.
good music. Like,
Alicia
so
Keys.
much. And I'm the youngest of 6. You're the youngest. You're the second youngest. You're the second youngest. How did it feel growing up? Like, you had to like, you were obviously younger than everyone, but you were also an older brother than me. So like, what was that like?
I really just felt like I was an older brother. Like, I never really felt like a younger brother, I guess. Like, and you can obviously like explain how you felt about being a younger brother. Then I'll tell you like how much of a difference it really is, like you compared to myself. But for me, I just felt like I was always your older brother. And then even though Pop was my older brother, it's like, okay, I look at him like a mentor and stuff like that. Like, I learned a lot. We hung around each other a lot. He brought me so many places, But I just felt like, yeah, it's just like, yo, like, this is my guy. Like, I'm just here, like, shadowing. You feel me? Like, I'm the student and he's the teacher, pretty much. I didn't really feel like, man, I'm your younger brother. Like, he just always looked out for me, like, no matter what, like, without even asking, in my opinion. Like, if I wanted video games, it's like, he already knew, like, yo, here's your new video game. Like, he'll put me on a bunch of stuff. like, yo, these the new sneakers. Like, yo, we going out. Like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I just went with the flow. Like, yo, whatever he said, I'm going with it.
I always felt like you guys were like cooler than me. Like I always wanted to be
are.
like you guys. And it really was because like I would tell you the truth. Like they used to like say I was adopted, and
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
we did.
they were like, "Yo, I was found in a dumpster." Like they really used to like say a lot of things to me.
We didn't say he was found.
Yes, you did. You said that. And, you know, nowadays, I know it's not true because I look just like my dad. But back then, you know, it was like, oh, my gosh, are they telling the truth because they were here first? Like, I really don't know. Not only that, they used to call me an idiot, right? And I could never say the word idiot. I would be like, no, you're an alien. So, like, it would always be like, damn, this guy is such an idiot because he can't even say the word idiot. And it was always just like a thing that was in my head that was just like, oh, you guys make me so angry because I can't say that word and you know it and y'all just keep like making fun of you.
But how old were you when you couldn't pronounce that word?
I don't know. It could have been like
12.
5, 6. It wasn't 12 years old. Calm down. It was probably like 5 or 6. I was definitely like, I was a toddler. Like, I don't know. I was probably still in pre-K. I really couldn't even
I'm
say the
hoping
word.
so.
Yeah. I used to like still like have a pacifier in my mouth at like the age of 5. Yeah. My only reason I lost my pacifier is because like one day I yawned and it flushed down the toilet. Like as I was peeing, and I was like, I finished peeing. I'm like, okay, let me flush the toilet. And while I was flushing the toilet, I yawned, and it was just, I just watched it, like, just swivel down, and just that was it.
No, that is a funny story.
But
It
why
was
you didn't reach for
traumatizing.
it? Why you didn't reach for it?
It was too disgusting. I knew at that young age that I didn't like a lot of
But
nasty
that is
things.
a very funny story.
It really was. I used to have that. I used to like, my mom used to have this undergarment that was called like a slip, I guess. It was like silky or satin, and like she would wear it underneath like, I don't know, a skirt or something.
Yeah.
And like I would always be underneath her, like her dress, like just to feel it. It was a lot of texture for me. It would be like, oh my gosh, this feels amazing. So like a lot of things I use that to comfort, and they made fun of me for that all growing up. They make fun of me all the time, like, you know,
Aw.
all the time. So a lot of times, like, I'm funny. I like to have fun. It's just like, I don't know. It's just like, who wants to be? I could not cry because it wasn't gonna like do anything for me. It was like, dang, I gotta be funny just like them to combat them. So I guess for me, it was always like, ooh, one day I'm gonna catch you. I'm gonna catch you. I'm gonna catch up. So, yeah, I'm here today. Thank God.
So how was it for you, like being like the younger brother?
Well, for me being a younger brother, it's obviously there are pros and cons with that.
Do tell.
Well, the cons for me is that being compared to you a lot. Obviously, for me, it's like, oh my gosh, Dan is just always just fooling around, not doing what he's supposed to do. I used to get beat a lot. Like my parents used to beat me just because like I didn't listen. Like they'll take out a belt, they'll lock the room door just so that I couldn't escape. There's one way in, one way out. So I would just be jumping over the bed back and forth, trying not to get hit, but I'm still getting hit. Did I learn my lesson from that? No, because I got hit a lot of times. You know, I just feel like I had a lot of energy, and everyone tried to like cage me in, and I just couldn't be caged in. But I will also say when I did get in trouble, like outside, D would get in trouble. Dustin would be the one who would like take the heat for me, and I never understood that. But I was always like, whew, like thank God that wasn't me.
And
you know what I'm
he would
saying?
never stop. Like there was no like decency in him whatsoever. Like no, he couldn't be kind-hearted at all.
No, I was a very
Like-
kind-hearted person. Are you
like,
kidding me?
He will go do something knowing, you know what? I'm never gonna get in trouble for this. D's just gonna get in
No,
trouble.
no.
I wouldn't. Sometimes I'm not even there, and my dad will be like, "Why weren't you there?" First of all, I'm in class. Mind you, we would be in high school. This happened from like being like a young kid, high school.
Oh no.
Sometimes even when I was in college and he was in high school,
I just
I'm
want to
like,
say,
bro, we not even in the same school, bro. Like,
no, true. But I do want to say that was never a thought process. Like, oh, if I do this, D's gonna take the rap from me. I never was.
He just never learned.
it
From,
also
like, after
wasn't
all
a
those-
thought process that, if I do this, maybe D will get in trouble and maybe I shouldn't do that because that's just messed up, you know?
Yeah, that was never a thought process.
See what I mean?
That was never. Because it was
Selfish.
No, it wasn't being selfish. It was I was always aware. I said, that's not right that my dad puts the blame on you. I knew that was not right. I was like, that's completely not right.
So if you know it's not right, then you go out the next day and do something bad.
Listen,
knowing you're not gonna get in trouble.
I
for it.
never intended. I just always ended up in these situations, and I'd be like, "Oh man, like how am I going to get out of this one?" At the end of the day, dude, I was
You
always
really
there for
gonna
you.
Sit here and lie?
I'm not lying. I'm telling my truth. This is my truth.
Because I actually,
Are you kidding me?
I asked you about it one time when we were in the car, and you said, "Yeah, I do it all the time because I'm not getting in trouble for it."
Yeah, I was probably being a douchebag in that moment. I was probably being an asshole. But I'm telling you the truth today that it never really would go through my mind that you would get in trouble for that. Listen, growing up, they'll compare me to everyone. Why you can't be like, your older brother. You know, you were the honor roll student. You were the smart one. You after class or after school, you go straight home. Like, I was never that. I would get phone calls home all the time.
Straight home too.
No, I would probably go home and then escape somewhere. Like, you know, I used to sneak out of the house. Like, it would just be, I was just that curious kid. I just felt like. So I never made it on honor roll. Perfect attendance, though, I definitely got.
Wow.
I definitely got perfect attendance.
That's good.
I know, right? I was so shocked. I was like, wow.
But that wasn't like by choice, though, right?
Nah, because it was many days I wanted to stay home.
Yeah.
And it was never by choice. I had to go to school.
He used to try to lie. Like, oh, we don't have school tomorrow. Lying. Then his dumb self not even like telling me like, yo, this is what we gonna do as a plan. He'll just say it. So he'll come ask me like, oh, you got school tomorrow? I'm just like, yeah, we do, because yeah, we do.
Right.
He mad. Why you ain't say no? Why you ain't tell me you had a plan?
You know, and as I'm thinking about it now, even though I was the youngest, I feel like you could probably like allude to this as well or relate to this, is that even though they'd be like the youngest is like the spoiled, I was not the most spoiled at all. Like I felt like a lot of times, maybe my mom was spoiling me sometimes, because every time they'll go out, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm coming. And I just wanted to go just so I could get something from outside. But like, I remember growing up seeing my sister like get so many sneakers, Jordans, like whatever, man, so fly. And I'll ask my dad for like $1 just to go to like, you know, to the freaking ice cream truck. And he'd be like, no, everything was no. And it's like, yo, you just bought her sneakers and you're telling me my $1's too expensive for you? Like, are you freaking kidding me, bro? And in hindsight, now that I think about it, it was just like, I feel like my dad, like his daughter, like my sister, was his kryptonite. When I would come to him for something, he would always just say no. But like, it was just like no reason to. It's like, because even now, if I ask him something, he says no. And it's just like, bro, can I like, I don't know, can I brush my teeth? No. Like, he doesn't even think about it. It's just always no. But even that, it was just like, he takes his frustration out on me from her, I would say. So I don't know if he did that to you, but like, even though I didn't get in trouble, I feel like I always got frustration taken out on me. My parents would argue a lot growing up, and I always was like, if they ever get divorced, I'm going with my mom, because my dad just says no. Like, it's not fun with him at all.
What I would say is, what you just said about being spoiled, I think being spoiled comes from, there's different types of like spoiling, in my opinion. Like, for you, it was materialistic. That's basically what you're alluding to. But you were also spoiled in a way that, or I guess like say privileged in a way, because it was like, you didn't get in trouble for anything. Yeah, you got whoopings. You deserve those whoopings. But like, they let you rock with a lot of things. You know, like, you were the innocent child no matter what. Even though you were into getting phone calls home and doing all this stuff at school.
I even started a gang.
Oh,
yeah. I did. It was called LNW, Little Niggas Wallin'.
Yeah.
You would.
Yeah, Dan started a whole gang.
Listen, the neighborhood we grew up in was not was not the nicest, the safest. So I had to figure it out. All right, I had to figure it out. If I wasn't gonna be the fighter, I need to get some fighters for me.
There was no reason for protection. Like, I don't know who he thought he was. Like, he thought he was the president. You're not that guy, you know. And it's just like, bro, what are you doing? But hey, I mean, he was able to get like, I think like 14 members.
Wow, really?
But the same day the gang started, the same day the gang.
Yeah, they told my dad. They was like, your son's trying to start a gang. I was so like, what the hell? This guy's snitching.
And he was mad. Not even mad that, you know, the gang got stopped, but he was mad that he didn't get to see anything from it. Like,
yeah, I was so upset.
He didn't get to like roll around with them. He didn't get to.
I was ready to wall out.
You know,
oh,
they couldn't find and recruit other members. Nothing. Like, they just.
Wow, you almost had a whole gang.
I was ready. But we were gonna cause havoc. It was just like, don't mess with us. You know.
Yeah.
That's it. We were only gonna retaliate to people who were trying to push against us. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Terrible. But besides all of that, because he deserved to be sleeping outside or something. Like, he basically, like I said, him being spoiled was just, he got a way better treatment than somebody normally would for the amount of things that he did.
But then also that could kind of go into like, because growing up, D and I were not like 100%, even health wise. Like, we would go through a lot. Like, I was hospitalized all the time growing up.
We
like,
both had seizures in school.
Yeah, like all the time. Like, for me, it would be like fevers would trigger my seizures, and for a while they couldn't figure it out. Like, I'll just be like in the lunchroom eating some chicken nuggets, some dank ass chicken nuggets too. Like, no, for real. Like, I used to love the chicken nuggets with these barbecue sauce. Oh man, and this one time I got ice cream from like the icy lady that was like around. I didn't even get to eat the icy. Like, as soon as I dipped my chicken nugget it was like lights out. And I woke up, there was so much chicken nuggets everywhere. And I peed myself. It was so embarrassing.
Oh, no.
So embarrassing.
I was in the lunchroom that day.
Oh,
and
really?
everybody's like, oh my gosh, your brother. Like, it looked like, you know how like crime scenes will have like a chalk outline when someone's like, he had an outline of nothing but chicken nuggets. Like, yo, I'm like, how many chicken nuggets does this guy have?
I told you, I was ready to go in.
I didn't know if it was like, oh, his chicken nuggets. Because I
Yeah.
feel like they would give us the lunch and it'll probably be like, if you had to count, you probably got like 8 nuggets, right? Say 7 to 10 nuggets, right? Yo, he had like about 30 nuggets surrounding him. So I'm like, I don't know if like the other people in the gang he recruited was like, yo, man, instead of paying me money to stay, pay me in nuggets. I don't know what happened, right? So I was just like, I don't know if other people just thought like, dang, man, he's gone. Let's like bury him with nuggets. Like, I don't know. It was just so many nuggets. And he just laying on the floor, not like casket-ish, but like,
just like pat, like, as if like, you know,
Like, it was
my
like a
arms and
legit,
legs
like,
are
you
just
felt-
misplaced.
okay.
yeah, like
Yeah.
his body was like this way, like that kind of stuff.
Oh,
so I was just like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah, but that was just one of the most embarrassing times that I had the seizures. But it was multiple occasions that I kept having these seizures.
That was what, 4th grade?
That was like, yeah, 4th grade.
I
And
was in 2nd grade when I had my seizure.
Oh, so you weren't even in high school when you tried to create a gang?
No, I just threw that in.
no, it was actually middle school when I tried to create the gang. But
But that was 4th grade when he had that
okay. It was
seizure.
4th grade.
I had mine in 2nd grade.
was that your first time having it?
I think so, because I totally passed out. The last thing I remember, like it's like I knew I was going through it. Like I felt, I knew I was passing out.
Yeah.
But I didn't really know I was passing out at the time. Like I just was sitting in the chair. I think we just came back from like a field trip or something. It's literally the end of the day. Like school is about to be over in like 5 minutes, bro. And I just started feeling very lightheaded, and I think I think I threw up on somebody too.
Ew.
But I just like passed out of my, like I just started falling out of my chair and I just hit the floor.
Oh no.
And everybody was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, and left me in there. And they didn't know what to do.
Wow.
But somebody called like the ambulance pretty much, and like 911, and they came, like the ambulance came and picked me up and stuff. But like everybody was like literally outside of the classroom. Like I'm just in the classroom by myself. Like
Wow.
laid out
Even
on
the
the floor.
teacher?
Yeah, I was laid out on the floor.
Wow.
So I don't know, and I know that because people in my class told me, but I don't remember like how long it was for the ambulance to come versus me just literally laying on the floor in an empty classroom by myself.
That's wild.
And I also don't know why they closed the door.
What?
Like, why did y'all like?
Yeah.
What was the point of that? Y'all acting like y'all was like
Like
quarantining
right.
me. Like, what?
Right.
Yeah, the teacher could at least comfort you, like just to make sure
Right.
you were good.
Yeah. So, or I don't know if they even, like, hey, if a kid passes out, this is what to do, or I don't know. Like, it was just like, yo, everybody just left me in there.
That's wild, because even like foam coming out the mouth, you just never know, you know?
Oh, did you have foam come out your mouth? Do you know?
That I don't know. I never even asked. I don't think so because I feel like someone would have said it, but yeah, I don't think so.
But after that, right, kind of like, did it like trigger like epilepsy almost for you? Because there would be times like, see, and you would say I wouldn't care about you. This is how you know I care. Like when you go through these things, I know I went through my issues. When I see you go through your issues, I was like, nah, that's not right. Like, what the fuck is going on with D? Like, like we gotta get some. Like he has to feel okay because it used to be scary. Like we'll be walking down the street and he would just like, his eyes would start rolling back to the
like,
back
I
of
would
his
have
head.
like these like I don't even know what it's called, like these random like episodes of like me just like I don't know what it's like. I bet so like you watch That So Raven and you know how she would just be in mid conversation and stop out of nowhere like she's having a vision,
Yeah.
like, and people are like, oh my gosh, Raven, like
Yeah.
that's exactly like how I look. Like we used to go to like summer camp. And I remember because it happened twice within like an hour. And I was like, that was like the first time it ever happened. Like it used to just happen like probably like once every few days or something. Like it would be random. But this day it happened twice. So we was crossing the street and I never really knew what I looked like anyway. Like I never knew what happened. It was just like my body would freeze and like my eyes would roll back in the back of my head. But I didn't necessarily know that. So we were crossing the street and one of the counselors were like, oh my gosh. Like it's like probably for like say 7 to 10 seconds. Like, in real time, that's a long time to just stop and
in
just
the
be
middle
frozen.
Of the street.
And yeah, and so the counselor started running to the I guess the main counselor and was like, "Oh my gosh, like Dustin's eyes are rolling in the back of his head." And it's funny because I would just stop. It would happen for like 10 seconds, and then I'll go back to being normal, like as if nothing happened at all. and it'll be like the weirdest thing. So once I seen her reaction to like that happening to me, I was like, that's what I look like? Like, this is crazy. Like,
it was definitely scary.
what the hell? And then we went to the park because this was like a field trip to the park. And I was like a mentor to like this younger kid. Like, that was like my little homie or whatever. And I was pushing him on the swings. And say I did it like 2-3 times. Like, pushed him. Wee. Pushed him. Soon as I pushed him, I just froze. Like, again. But this time, I don't even think I finished my 10-second thing. Like, the swing came, it hit me right in my face. Like, I just was like knocked out. And I probably woke up like, I don't know, 2 minutes later, and I was like, bro, what just happened? Like,
yeah.
And then that's when the counselor was like going over it again. The same one that like reacted.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my gosh, like this is what happened. Like, she's seen it happen again, and she was like, yo. And I had to like take medication like for like a while. I don't know how long, but it ended up working, and it never happened to me again. But I was just like, yo, this was like so weird.
It was so weird. Like,
I don't know where it came from.
But like, do you think it's like a genetic thing? Like, did they test you guys for like, because the fact that you both had that?
It could be. Well, I didn't really have, as to the extent that Deed had like those episodes. It would really just like, for me, they knew that fevers would trigger my seizures, because the first time it happened to me was like 2 years old, and obviously I don't remember that, but my dad he loves to tell the story. It's like the only story that he remembers. Like, oh, I had to run to the hospital in my underwear with you in my lap, and because we didn't know what was happening to you. But I remember them like, I definitely had to shave my head a few times so they could like test like the neurology behind everything, like the brain waves and everything. And just to see like what triggers it, whatever. But y'all really would spend weeks in the hospital. Like, you probably like go to school, just like go about your day. But I'll be there. I remember just being in the hospital with my mom. It'll be like years. I used to like be in and out of the hospital, But I don't know. I feel like my dad probably had like seizures growing up. If I'm not mistaken, I think maybe something like that. But for the most part, I just hope that it stops with us, because it's really not fun. Like, even watching Dee go through his stuff, it was always scary, and it just was like it was always unexpected as well. But I guess that kind of made us stronger, where like we'll have this bond together. Like, all right, you watch out for me, I'll watch out for you, just because we weren't 100%. But I do thank God that we are like at least 100% now, because it's just like, that's why maybe I look at life like, yo, you just never know when's your last day. Like, people don't even make it past 12. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, growing up in a hospital, especially having a roommate.
Aren't you saying it like it's the neighborhood? Growing up in a hospital.
No, sir. Like, I remember like I had my roommate, like he was also sick. I don't remember what his sickness was, but I think it was like worse than me. And it was just never fun being stuck with needles all the time. Like, I always knew when I was going to like have a seizure, because the room would start spinning. I feel so dizzy. And I'm like, oh man, here we go again. But yeah, I'm just happy like we're past that. So it's definitely something that I like to reflect on once in a while, just to be like, wow, like grateful moments to still even be here. But it was definitely like not easy growing up just because of that. It was always like, I feel like they took extra precautions to make sure that we were okay, like always being safe and overprotective, We, even growing up, we couldn't do a lot of stuff. Like, we can't go sleep over people's homes. Like, in hindsight now, it's probably because of that. Before, I used to be like, oh my gosh, you guys are so mean. I can't sleep over my friend's house. Like, what the heck? Yeah. But also, people are creeps. Like, we don't know what their parents are like, you know? It's always like Uncle Johnny that's weird as hell, like touching kids. Like, you know what I mean? You just never know.
Yeah. And like you said, also, I didn't think about that as well. Like, because we always thought like, yo, wow, we can't do stuff that our other friends can. But like, yeah, what if we'd have been over somebody else's house and probably had like an episode of seizure? Also, I have asthma, but my asthma was real bad when I was younger. Like, I used to have asthma attacks like every so often. So it's just like, yo, like, I don't think they would be able to, like, our parents would be able to like fathom like, dang, what if something happens to my kid and I'm not there? Yeah. Like, school is one thing. Like, obviously we have to go to school, but anything that they can control, like going to a friend's house, like sleeping over or something, maybe not. Because you even had a seizure one night, like at nighttime. Like, I remember.
You remember?
Yeah.
Wow.
You had to go to the hospital.
I'm telling you, I lived in a hospital.
Den was in the hospital
a lot.
Like,
it was not
his
fun.
Second home.
I used to literally get like needles everywhere, IVs in my. The worst was always my hand, and I just was like, "Why is this in my hand?" Like, every time I move my hand, I just feel the needle just sliding against my bones. It was just never it. But yeah, it's definitely like, it was not fun. But
Yeah, it's crazy. Cause like the time when you had it at night, say it was like 11 o'clock at night, like everybody was like already, and this was like a school night, so like our bedtime probably was like 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, whatever. But for whatever reason, I was still up, and we had a bunk bed, and he was on the top bunk, and so it's like, yo, if we all would have just been asleep, like who knows what would have happened? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so it's just like, nah, seizures was really like kicking our ass when we were younger.
Right. It was like us
It was
catching COVID back to back to back to back to
It was
back.
just, and because it was always random, like nothing warranted it. It's not like, oh, I was outside playing all day. It wasn't like, even like, I guess that thing I have some sort of epilepsy thing. Like, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, like a bunch of like nothing. It's just random.
Yeah.
And then like going to school, obviously known as the seizure boys. You know, going to school.
Back outside, boys.
Right. It was always just, and then on top of that, we had to like just, I guess, just try to like blend in because, you know, our parents are from West Africa, Liberia. So being first generation here was always like trying to fit in with the American kids and then also going home and being African as well. But then it was always this thing where people would be like, you know, back in the day before it was widely accepted, like how it is now. People are like, oh, Afro beats, Burna Boy. Like everyone wants to be down, down, down. But before it was like, no, you African booty scratcher. And I was dark skinned. So it was like, damn, blackie. You know what I'm saying? Like you ashy as I don't know what. But it was always just like having a battle against those people. And I guess thinking back, it's just like good thing we all joked and roasted each other so that we'll go to school and kind of roast these other people. Cause like these kids were crusty and busted as well. So like how dare they try to come for us? But you know,
That's a fact.
you know what I mean? But it was just like always just trying to like fit into like their standards and just like vibe with them. And I just remember always being like made fun of just cause it was just not, I guess I wasn't like that typical like black person. And I was like, damn, like I could never know what it's like to like, yeah, my parents were strict, but like looking back, it was just like these kids get to do whatever they want. I can't even do that. And then even through like middle school and high school was always just like, for me, I would say I would try to fit in a lot. I would like try to like mask who I was and just like, even though I wouldn't, let's say even down to like fighting, right? Like let's say people are fighting and everything like that. I would hate to get into a fight. Like for me, it always like my insides, like it would just make me so nervous. But if I had to, I'm like, I'm gonna have to thug it out. Like if someone comes at me, I'm gonna have to fight. So I used to get into fights sometimes knowing like I didn't even really want to fight just to like, I guess fit in. But it was always just like trying to, even wearing cool brands and just trying to fit in with other people just so that I wouldn't ruffle any feathers or try to stand out too much. And if I was to go back, I would like definitely not do that again. I would just like be myself, just be fun, cool, calm and collected, whether the style was weird or the music was weird or whatever like that. And just like try not to fit in so much.
Yeah.
I would say, I guess I didn't want to be different because growing, you know, being in a hospital so much and
then
also
it's like
being
you're a
made fun of for
kid,
being
too.
African.
It's like,
Yeah.
Kids are like mean.
Yeah. Kids were hella mean, you know? So I guess for me, it was always like, yeah, I guess even down to like materialistic things, it was just like my swag and everything just kind of helped people pick on me less. And I was always like, if I'm cool with the cool kids, then I should be good. I never though, I would say I never like made fun of like the cornballs. Like I always spoke to them like they were regular. And also like the weird ones, just in case they came back to shoot up the school. I'm like, you're not shooting me. Like, I hope you remember like me, because I always accepted who you were.
Yeah, it definitely pays to be kind to people, and also like to like piggyback off what you was just saying, with like trying to fit in. I think that really came in once we moved.
Oh,
like,
to Long Island?
Yeah, so like we originally went to Catholic school. So we wore a uniform every day. Everybody wore the same thing. So it's not like, oh my gosh, look at what you're wearing. It was never like that. Then to go to a public school and everything is just like, it's just like a total like culture shock. So, so we just don't even know what's going on.
Oh, but the kids were cursing. Oh my gosh, I'm in 4th grade. You're in 6th. This is like what, 2004 at this point. Kids are cursing. We just came from Catholic school. No one's cursing. We're
Not
praying.
one person.
These people are cursing. I'm like, all these kids are going to hell. Oh, they're going to hell.
Like we didn't even curse. Like, you know what I mean? Like not even like we would never like.
It took me 3 years. Like I think 2007 I got comfortable with like cursing.
Yeah, I think the first time I ever said a curse word was probably like, probably 2007 or 08, but maybe even 09.
Wow.
But like, I really used to try to like not do it, but it was like, I remember because my mom wanted us to go to like summer school
at the school we were going to be going to for elementary when we moved. So I was going to 6th grade. He was going to 4th grade. So she was like, yeah, just get familiar with the school and the people. The first day I walked into summer school, I was made fun of. Like, so it was like, yo, my first introduction into public school, and it wasn't even like a regular school year, I was made fun of. People, there was 3 elementary schools. So, but
Within the neighborhood.
yeah, within the neighborhood. So they all had to go to one school, which was the school we were going to, Centennial Elementary School. So people go to like another school was like Washington Rose, and another school was like Ulysses Bias. And people used to make fun of my name. They'd be like, yo, Dustin Mooney, what kind of name is that? Like, yo, people that I don't even know. Like, when I ended up meeting them when I got to middle school, they're like, oh, I heard about you. You that Dustin Mooney. You that Dusty guy. You that, bro. Like, anything that they could come up with.
Wow.
And I'm just like, yo, it used to make me so angry. Like, I'm like, yo, I see why, people be like, yo, that they try to retaliate against bullies. And, like, all those, I understand it. Because it's like you walk into an environment and it's like 20 versus 1.
Yeah.
And it's like, again, unwarranted. So it's just like, yo, why are y'all like this? Like, mind you. So I was just like, yeah, whatever. And at this point, like, to what we were talking about earlier with controlling, like, my anger as a kid, it was like good thing. Like, my mom really spoke to me about like controlling my anger. Because I'm like, I don't know what would be happening. Because it's like, yo, why are y'all bullying me?
Yeah.
Then it went from, people bullying me because of my name. Like, what kind of name is that? I never heard of no name like that. To African booty scratcher, and people, I used to hate this so much when people would just go, oh, you didn't hear me talking to you?
So corny.
First of all, even if that was something that you're saying, you don't even know what it means.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're pretty stupid at this point.
Right.
Like,
Right, yeah.
And then you have other stupid people around them laughing like, yeah. Oh, so you just made up anything and just
Right.
laughed about it? Like, whatever. So, but yeah, I just wanted to say that to piggyback. Like, it just was like that culture for like people in like 7th, or let's say middle school, because some middle school people are like 6th grade. Middle school to the end of high school is it's crucial. Like, that's the main part of your life. Like, everybody thinks it's like 20s. Like, that's the real shapeshifter. Like, how are you gonna be? Like, because so many people say anything to you. Like, that's a real war zone right there.
And we didn't even hang out with each other throughout school because our middle school and high schools were attached. So we didn't really hang out much. You had your set of friends. I had my set of friends. It was really like, yo, you go conquer your day. I got to go conquer my day. Because it is a battlefield out here really to survive in terms of like just to blend in, I guess, just to really blend in.
Because fitting in was really like crazy. Like, I used to have, like, I was cool with everybody too. Like, and it's funny because now, like, we talked about, like, yo, let's just be cool with everybody. It was like, yo, we was cool with popular kids. We was cool with, like, nerds. Like, it didn't matter. Like, to me, I look at you as a human. Like, if you cool, you cool. If you're not, you're not. Like, it's not, oh, because you have less money than my family, you're beneath me. No, I never looked at people like that. I'm never going to look at people like that. So I don't even know why people, like you said, a lot of them look busted and dusty. Why are you thinking someone else is beneath you? Like,
right. I remember this kid.
Especially like even as like a child, like you don't even make the money. Like, it's your parents.
I remember this kid was homeless and he lived in a shelter and they used to make fun of him for being homeless. I'm like, that's not funny.
Not even
like,
funny.
that's not even his fault.
Right. They used to make, so I'm like, yo, I understand he smells a little bit, but like,
so
it's not even
sad.
his fault. Like, any of us could be in that situation.
That is really sad.
It was really sad. It was really sad. But, even down to like us, I would say probably after high school, I would say after you graduated, not even that. I would say in high school, it was a lot worse for me trying to fit in because I guess I kind of fit in with the wrong kids where it's like getting in trouble all the time. Like, I got suspended. I even got kicked out of school once. Like, I had to leave Long Island to go to school in Queens. I went to Jamaica High School, which was not like the safest school that there was. But I would say going there, it was completely different. Like, it was this huge school and it was different races of people, but no one made fun of each other for like you being a cornball or it was like the popular kids were conversing with everyone. And it was just like, wow, back in Long Island is just so segregated where it's like, oh, you can't sit with us type of crew. But it was like, I saw that. I'm like, yeah, why are people not kinder to one another? You know what I'm saying? Even down to, well, now that I think about it, I actually got kicked out of 2 schools. I went to, because I just remember I went to this school in Fresh Meadows in Queens.
This is why I said he deserved way more beatings.
Yeah, no, I did.
So he's getting kicked out of school, but it's my fault.
Hey man, in ninth grade I got kicked out of school, and that was your fault because you wanted to get into a fight in school and cause a whole riot, and I got caught up in that, and I got kicked out because I told the principal to shut up. She told me to shut up first, and I just want to say I was very disrespectful of her, and I was upset because obviously my brothers got into a fight,
Right.
and they were talking about I jumped in, and I blacked out in a moment. I didn't know I jumped in. In hindsight, I did jump in because how dare you touch my brother in front of my face?
Yeah.
I don't care how big you are.
So she was like, "You was fighting." He said, "No, I wasn't." She said, "Shut up." He said, "You shut up." I said, "This guy is crazy."
But even that, it's just like we didn't even have to be in that situation. I would not do high school again. Like high school was fun,
yeah,
it was
no.
cool, but I would not do that stuff again at all.
Good.
Yeah,
At
like
all.
people that dwell on like high school stuff, sometimes I'm like, nah, man. Like, there's so much more to life than high school. Like, middle school, like I said, for us, it was like, we got bullied a lot. And even to talk about bullied, like, it didn't dawn on me till one day Vince asked about, like, yo, how do you...
Oh, Vince from To My Heart?
Yeah, from To My Heart. He asked me one time, he's like, yo, how do you just always have like a clap back, like all the time? Like when someone says something to you, it's like you snap right into like clapping back all the time, like with a joke. He's like, were you bullied as a kid? And I was like, I was. And then he just kind of like broke down like the psychology behind it. And I said, yo, that makes so much sense. Because it's like, I don't like, I mean, if we're joking, we're joking. But like, if I don't know somebody and I like instantly clap back at them, it's like, I don't want that feeling of how I was bullied when I was younger to come back. So I always have like, that's like my defense mechanism. Like, soon as you shoot, you getting shot right back, like instantly. So it's just like, yo,
Yeah.
like, wow, it taught me a lot. Like I never really like took the time to actually like think about that, like why I do that. But
Which is interesting because a lot of like reflecting, even like, but I also feel like throughout life too, we evolve. Like after high school, I remember you went off to college. You were going to like Old Westbury, SUNY Old Westbury, which is like a state college of New York. And my parents wanted me to go to the same school as you. I was like, absolutely not. My whole life, they wanted me to be like this guy. And I'm like, I'm not about to continue this. Like, I was trying everywhere. I'm like, where am I going?
I'm a good guy.
No, you're a good guy. I was like, I'm my own person. Like, I need a rebirth. Like, y'all are not about to like, no, this ends here. And I remember I was trying to go to school in Queens, the city, everything. But a lot of places required SATs, and I knew I was not the brightest at that time. I was like, if I could, I had to cheat on my regents. If you guys don't know what regents are like state exams for New York. And honestly, I cheated on every one of my regents. I'm not gonna lie. Listen, you gotta fake it till you make it, and baby, I faked it. So you telling me I'm about to go take an SAT and I can't cheat on that? 3 hours long of a test.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely not.
wicked. And I took it twice.
Yeah, he took it twice, and I was like, I'll be damned.
ACT.
Yeah, I'll be damned.
I only took the ACT once because that's worse than the SAT.
And you know what's funny? I think I basically got the same grade, like all 3 tests. The only like for the SAT, I took it again and I only got 10 points higher than the first time. And I said, yeah, this is a waste of my time.
Wow.
I said, I can't do this again.
Wow.
I was like, whatever school gonna take me, because
forget that.
You were dedicated though.
nah, I was.
You were dedicated.
I'm a scholar, what you expect.
Yeah, true.
Even when it came for like grad school. Like,
you did it. Got your master's.
yeah. I was like, oh, I gotta do the GMAT. I took a bunch of like practice tests. I took the GMAT practice test, I think the GRE, and the LSAT.
Wow.
And I was like,
And the LSAT? What you get on the LSAT?
oh, it was bad. It was so
But what's bad though?
Like, I forgot the
I'll
grade.
tell you, if you tell me, I'll tell you what I got on my GMAT.
I forgot. I forgot the grade scale. Like, say if it's like, all right, no lie. Like, if it had to be like out of 100%, I probably got like a 30-something, 40%. Like, it was bad.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Like, it was bad.
That's not as bad as me.
What you get?
So if y'all don't know, like the GMAT is kind of like the SAT for like grad school.
What you get on that?
I got the lowest score possible, and that's because I put my name on there.
Wow.
What was the grade?
Like either 200 or 400.
But that's not bad.
That's terrible.
All right,
And I spent like 5 minutes on this question, and I better have gotten it right because they asked basically. Let's just say right, the question was like after all this long ass language, a whole paragraph. They love to like try to confuse you. Let's just put it like 122 divided by 48. You best believe I went down a list of like 48, like 122 or 122 48 times and was deducting. I was like, let's just say I times it.
By his explanation, he definitely got that question right.
No, but like, let's just say like it was like a division. So I don't really remember, but it was like, let's say I did something like 22 times And then I divided it like each time. Okay, like 122 divided by like 44. 122. After that answer, I would divide it by, minus it by whatever the number was. So I would take it like step by step by step. So I couldn't use a calculator, which is like completely just inconvenient. Like, how dare they? At the time, it was like 2016, 17. We're like, there's like electric cars. What's happening? Like, why are we not using calculators for this stuff? But I would just say, I do want to say though, being in college, that was my first time hitting like Dean's List, which is like honor roll. So I eventually made honor roll later on in my life. Yeah, I did.
He had a total like change.
Yeah, I completely rebirth. I left all my like gangbanging ass friends back home, and I went to college, and it was just like, no, I was rocking Vans. Like, you did not know me. Like, I was completely off grid. Like, I was just like this kid that was just like, nah, I got to get it together. Like, playtime is over. So I had to do that. So I would say, so that's why I attempted to do a GMAT, because I was like, okay, things are better now, or different now. I could do this. Didn't pass, but it's all right. It's all right. I was trying to be like you in that moment, which is why it didn't work out for me.
It's funny 'cause like when I took the practice GMAT, I got a 400 on it.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And it was like I went to grad school at LIU, but the Long Island one, CW Post. So they was like basically I was able to get in with a 400. All you need is at least a 400. So even when I took the real test, I don't even know what I got. They never even told me. Like, I think it's in like 3 different sections or something. So I basically got like 400 on one. So they was already like, yeah, you're good. Like, it doesn't even matter about the rest. So I never even knew what I got on the test.
Wow.
And I was just like, yeah, okay.
Oh my
now
gosh.
I got into grad school.
I just realized, like, you telling that, I really cheated my way through life. Oh my gosh. Like, not only did I cheat on those
There's
like
nothing wrong
regents
with that.
in high school, like I really cheated on like a lot of exams in
Especially
college.
those state exams and things like that. They're not even meant for us to like retain that information anyway.
At all.
It's like literally nothing. It's nothing.
Like, the
pointless.
the remedial tests that you have to take. Like,
Oh yeah.
I cheated on that because I was like, I'll be damned if I get remedial classes. Imagine getting all the way to college and you got to do special ed. Like, this ends for no credit. Like, nah, y'all not about to take my money for free. Like, this is inconvenient to me. I definitely cheated on that. I cheated a lot in college. Like, I would have my phone.
It wasn't even just about cheating on tests. It was like I used to help other people cheat. Like, I remember.
So why you never helped me?
We weren't in the same class. So like, for example, I had pre-calculus in high school, and I had all the answers for the final. Yo, I helped everyone in the class cheat, bro. Everyone got 100. I even gave myself 100.
Wow.
I'm the only one that got caught. So she made me take it over.
Oh no.
That's ridiculous.
But she was mad nice though. But it was like, it's funny because she was like, do number 3 again. Yo, I sat there trying to like bullshit, trying to see if I could show my work to do number 3. I was just like, you can't give me another question? Like, I was like, she's like, all right, do number 4 then. And I was like, yo, I already knew what was up. I said, yo, I can't do this. I was like, yeah, all right, you caught me, but what? Like, she was like, all right, I'm just going to give you a whole nother test. So she was like, I'm not going to tell you which regions it is. And I'm like, all right, at this time, this is like, what, 2010, right? So I was like, she gave us like the 08 one. She's not, I was like, I don't think she's going to give us like 2007 or 2009. And mind you, the regions is like, there's one from like January, like June, and like August. So I was like, I did like process of elimination. Like, I really had this whole like calculation in my head, like what I think she would pick. And I'm like, I feel like she would be like, I'm not gonna pick 07 or 09 because that's too early. That's probably expected. I'm gonna give him one from like 04, maybe 06. Oh, wow. So I was like, you know what? I ain't even gonna go through all that. I wrote down all the answers from 2004 to 2006. And I was like, I think she's going to pick something out of one of these 3 years. Wow. She could have picked 07 and I would have been cooked. Like, damn, now I got to do this by myself. But I was like, for some reason, I said, I feel like she'll pick between 04 and 06. And she literally picked 06. And I was like, wow. Yo, good thing I wrote these answers down. So I was like, I'm just going to get myself. I was like, can I like go to another place and take this test? Because everyone else already took it and they're just in here just like laughing and making jokes. It's going to distract me. She said, yeah, just go right across the hall. I said, okay, cool. So I looked at the test. It said 2006. I said, bet. I pulled out my phone, wrote down all the answers, gave myself an 80 this time. I was like, yo, this is a hard test, but yeah, whatever I get. That's what I told her.
The finesse of it all.
Good job.
But yeah, there's different ways to cheat on your test. A lot of people don't know. Like, I used to record myself and like put it in my like.
Oh, like your iPad on your iPod Nano?
I didn't have one of those, did I?
I don't
I
know.
had a regular iPod.
So you put it on that?
Yeah, I'll put it on an iPod and like put run the headphones through my like hoodie and put my hood on and a hat. That way you couldn't see the I wish they had AirPods at the time. But like so you couldn't see none of the wires and I'll literally just listen to myself on repeat saying all the answers that I wrote down. And stuff like that.
I got beef with
That's
you.
so smart.
Why?
Because I don't understand how you have all these tips and tricks, yet you fail to discuss this with me.
Yeah, because you probably would have it would have been known that you was cheating.
No, absolutely. No.
Yeah.
I've cheated throughout my whole life. I never got caught.
But I also
But
didn't
that's
know
the
you
thing.
were cheating though.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's all right. I still got through. Because honestly, now that I think about it, I don't think I would have been able to keep up with myself on repeat. I would have been like, what? Like, I'm going
Yeah,
so
he would have been
fast.
confused.
Yeah.
Like,
So
So
confused.
I'll be like, dang it. People don't know. Well, if you know, you know. But the iPod, you couldn't really like, you know how on your iPhone now
you could like track back.
You could like
skim through it,
scrub back or whatever. Yeah, you wasn't doing that. Like you had to like pull out the iPod and like circle it like on your own. So like I'm like, yeah, it's just gonna have to go. Mind you, my whole like voice note was like 20 minutes long.
Oh my
Oh,
So I'm
goodness.
like, oh my gosh, that was this question right here. Now I gotta wait all over.
Oh my goodness.
But-
wow. And that's like intense because like it's like only 40 minutes for a period. So like
Yeah.
you like really had to
I
like.
used to love switching periods. Like, I used to
Yeah.
like, I couldn't wait to go back in the hallway just to see my friends and like, oh yeah, like
Yeah.
it'll just be lit, and I'll always be late to my class.
Well, at least you didn't get like suspended or like expelled.
I got suspended from a class one time.
Me too.
Like it was so dumb. It was my English class in 10th grade.
You didn't get along with the teacher, right? She was disrespectful.
Well, I would say she's sexist because she's always used to just like put like girls against guys. Like, oh, the girls are so much smarter than the guys. But mind you, I was like the only smart guy in my class. Like it was like, say if I'm making like, if our average was like 84, that's because everybody else had like 70s and like low 80s. I was in the 90s.
Oh, wow.
And the girls, it was like a bunch of smart girls in the class. Like they always getting like 91, 92, 94s. I'm like, bro. Wow. So she always used to like pit us against each other. And I'm just like, yo, what the hell? And then one time she was like, oh, like she always used to like single me out. Like she even gave me detention. I'm like, bro, what? Like, mind you, I'm not even a bad kid.
Right, that's more my
Right.
steez.
Exactly. She's giving me detention. Somebody else disrupted the class. She said it was me along with those people. And I said, it really wasn't. Like, I just felt like she just always...
Had it out for you.
Yeah, and I was just like, yo, I just don't understand. And then one time I was like, yo, I was mad. So she was like, for an assignment, she's like, everybody write like a story or whatever. So I made my story about her. And I put her as like a hippo. And she was mad at like another animal. I forgot what animal I made as myself or whatever. Yo, and I even said like, yo, this is the like hippo's name, and I put her name.
Oh my god.
Yo, and I had to like read it in front of the class, I think, or something. Yo, she was livid. I was just like, again with the clap back. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like,
That was pretty
like
nice.
it's one thing that kids is bullying me, but like, yo, the teacher bullying me, nah, yo, I'm not standing for that. Like that now is too far. Like this is way out of pocket.
Wow,
Yeah.
I'm proud of you for that.
Yeah, me
wow.
too.
It was tight. And then the time I got suspended from class, I came late, like say like 3 minutes late, so she closed the door. One of my friends that I knew, he came, banged on the door, and ran away like some like ding dong ditch type stuff.
Wow.
Yo, she opened the door. She's like, "Why you banging on my door?" Yo, I said it wasn't even me, bro. She called the principal. I was suspended from class for like 4 or 5 days.
Wow.
Like I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like I'm suspended from class. Like I can't go to class. I was like,
Right.
nah, this is crazy. And then she thought she was slick. She was like, you know what? Since you want to make stuff, make my life a living hell, I'm gonna do the same to him. And basically, when it was time for us to like go to the guidance counselor to do like new classes, I wasn't there. So she put me in AP English, thinking I'm gonna have a harder time because it's a harder, more rigorous course.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was in AP English when I was in high school, because she tried to do it to like, yeah, let's see how you do.
Oh.
And I still aced it, but I didn't know she did that to one of my friends in class. Was like, yeah, she was really like nasty in the guidance council. Like she was telling us why she wanted to put you in AP, basically trying to set you up for failure.
Wow. What's her name?
Miss Madison.
Take that,
And
Miss
look where
Madison.
he's at now. Where are you?
So I was just like, Like, yo, you serious?
She's so petty.
That's
Right.
a fact. But that's why I like, even now, like I look at it like I accept challenges. Like don't challenge me.
Yeah.
Like,
Good way to look at
you
it.
feel me? Like I'm making my business to prove people wrong. Like, I know why you did it. I heard why you did it. Aced that class like it was nothing. And I was like, yeah, F off.
Now you see why it's so hard to have a kid that's like making like D minuses, and you have some A plus AP ass kid that's like killing it. You're like, what the hell is your problem, dude? What is your problem? Like, you know what I mean? But I get it. For me, like, only thing that's similar for me is just like after graduating college, I couldn't not find a job for like nothing. Oh my gosh, it was so hard to find a job. Like, I went to school for marketing, and I was like, oh, this is great. Like, marketing, everyone's needs a marketer. You know what I mean? How did I end up at the telemarketing with like criminals and drug addicts? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is not the marketing I pictured. But ever since then, I was just like, all right, since clearly I'm not getting a job, like I can't even get an interview, not even from Progressive, like the insurance company. I was like, okay, insurance, like it's not marketing, but it's something. They didn't even hire me. I'm like, yo, something's got to give. Like, I needed to figure something out. So ever since then, I was just like, listen, I'm going to just write whatever on my resume. I'm going to say I did this, this, and that, and I'm going to figure it out. And ever since then, I've been on an up and up. Like, I got hired to do like this sales job at this skincare company. I ain't never worked sales or skincare ever in my life. And I was out there selling like tens of thousands of dollars
This
my
man was
first
like
year.
top 5 in the region.
Yeah, I was so
Word.
dope. And ever since then, I was like, yeah, fake it till you make it. Like, believe in yourself. So, no, I may not be book smart, but I'm life smart. All right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And ever since, listen, I could have been like, oh my gosh, like, life is just wants me to fail and I'm miserable and I'm no. From there, I was just like, I'm just going to have to figure it out. Same way I did throughout life, through school. I figured it out. So, I had to figure it out. But, yeah, it was definitely interesting.
And I think that's so commendable because like both of you have like your own story, but like you also are like brothers, so you share like something together. So like, would you say that like your success now like is something that stemmed from like all like, of the hurt and pain that like you went through? Like you're able to like you said, like you look at everything like a challenge. So like, do you take like everything that you went through back then and like apply that as like the fuel to your fire for like now?
I would say, yeah. I think experiences in life definitely make you who you are. Like they shape you.
Even like college, for example, I like to tell people like the one thing that college teaches, like everyone thinks like, oh my gosh, like I'm not going to college because I don't want to do homework and midterms and finals. Like I don't want to do that. And I'm like, it actually teaches you how to be like a grown up or just life stuff in general. Like teaches you deadlines, like responsibility, like time management, a lot of these things that you can take with you. I think for me, like a lot of things that we've been through, or like I'll say that I've been through, it gave me tough skin. You know, I had to build up my confidence. So I don't look at things as like failures or like losses. It's like a bunch of things are just life lessons. So I take what I need and I just keep going. Like I like to say, I'm like a walking LinkedIn. Like anything that I like, I'll be like, oops, that's me. Endorse that. That's me. And I just take that with me everywhere I go. So if I see any situation that's similar to like, let's say my English teacher in 10th grade that I'm probably facing now, it could be a supervisor at the job. It could be anything. Like I'll look at it like, oh, this is the same situation. This is how I'm going to handle it. And I think it's just my approach to things. It just makes it different. And I know exactly how I want to handle things when I come close to it. And as far as being successful now, I definitely think like the little kid version of me would be like proud. Like, yo, we didn't see the trajectory, but I'm glad you took everything that you've been through and let that be your fuel, like you were saying, to do everything that I feel like I need to do. Like Den saying, like, fake it till you make it. Like, it's not even like faking stuff. It's just believing you can. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? Like you believed you can sell skincare, even though you never did it before. Did he think he would make it to be a top 5 in the region? Probably not.
No,
but you
not at all.
But you cross that bridge when you get there. Like once you start seeing things come to fruition that you probably never thought about, you'll be like, oh dang,
right,
I really got something going for myself. I'm gonna keep it going. And that's the same way how that approach is for you is the same way that approach is for me when I come to something new. Like it doesn't matter what it is. Like if you tell me, man, you can't ice skate, I'll tell you, yes I can. If you give me 3 days, I'll probably go learn how to ice skate.
And you
know.
sure did. You did that with the dancing, and you won the dancing challenge.
Right. Oh yeah, on Torn Heart.
Yeah.
No, I'm a dancer. I don't know what y'all talking
He's
about.
gonna take that crown that he's the
I'm a
dancer.
Right.
dancer. I used
Tomato,
to dance.
tomato.
Okay, you need to relax.
Right.
But yeah, to sum it all up, I do take all that hurt, pain, experience, life lessons, and just keep it with me everywhere I go.
I would say for me, I mean, in hindsight, like, yeah, now that I even think about it, like, every time I won something, I'll always get a no. Like, everyone's always telling me freaking no. Like, what the heck? People are obsessed with this word no. But, you know, I always was like, all right, I'm just going to have to figure it out on my own to, like, get it. Like, how am I going to get this? I'm going to have to figure out another way. If that door's closed, I'm going to have to go around the back. If that door, I have to hop through a window. And I guess I just kind of, like, just use that throughout life, even down to, like, even like with acting and everything, is like, okay, yeah, at first I wanted to be an actor. Didn't work out, clearly, but I'm finding myself on social media still like making people happy, making people laugh in front of a camera. Thank God I don't have to remember lines, but if I need to, I know how to, you know what I mean? And even down to the faking it till you make it, it is like, yeah, I'll tell you I can do something, even though I really don't know how to, but I'm gonna try to figure it out. Which is how I even like started working with like Ebony Magazine. I started doing videography for them. I barely was like doing good edits on my own, but I was like, yeah, I could do it. Listen, I always go into things like the worst thing that could happen is I get fired. Like, you know what I mean? At least I got the opportunity. I'm not going to tell myself no, not to get this opportunity, but at least I gave it a chance, you know? So I would definitely say, I guess looking at it now is like, yeah, life did prepare me for like how things are today and just to triumph over everything else. So yeah, man, it's definitely been a journey. It hasn't been fun, especially like days in the hospital, or days being made fun of, or days just not like fitting in, and days of like you trying to think like, why these girls like that other guy better and all this other stuff, you know, whether it's because we're African or just because I'm just silly as fuck. Like my life is a joke. Like you guys know this. Like me with that birthday stream, I try to be like Rico Suave, Rev Run in the tub. I was definitely not that. I was like a fish flapping in and out of water. Like
Murky,
you know what I mean?
water.
Murky water, just
water.
not it. So I just had to like, and honestly, now that I think about it, even for us being like popular online for doing like this, try not to laugh. I'm like, once again, my life is still a joke. Like, no matter, I might see myself glitz and glamour, but it's like, no, bro, you're gonna be like in mud somewhere, like people like laughing. So it may just end up like that. Like my life is really just a joke, and I'm just going along for the ride, and I'm appreciative of it because.
Yeah, because you have fun doing it. It's not
Yeah.
like you don't have fun doing it.
Yeah.
I think that's when it becomes like, oh, like I can't believe I'm doing this. But like you have like the greatest time looking crazy.
Now I have so much fun with it. I just
Yeah.
had to come to terms like I'm just a joke. Like I'm just silly.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it is what it is. Like D is like the Rico Suave. He could do things really smoothly. Like no, I'm falling off my bike. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I'm riding down the street and I'm falling off my bike. So that's just me. So it is what it is.
But it's the light and laughter that you bring into people's homes.
Yeah, we're all different, and I love me. So I will not change that for anything.
Yeah.
And just to say, like, you know, he said he'll fall off his bike. He has gotten into a bunch of bike accidents.
Yeah, I got hit by a bike.
He's got ran over by a bike.
I got hit off my bike with a car.
A car hit him off his bike.
And I also ran into a parked car with my bike, and he sat there and laughed at me. It was so painful.
It was so hilarious.
It was like, it probably was
It was
hilarious.
so hilarious.
Because I don't understand why I did not move, like, or turn the wheel.
I'm riding my bike looking at him, right?
I guess I was trying to cut in front of him.
He's riding his bike looking forward. So you see the parked car. You see you're approaching this parked car. He does not move over. And he got on a helmet. So I don't know if he just thought he was protected. Yo, he smacked the parked car so bad.
It's okay. That happened to me too before.
It happened to you too?
Yeah, but I was learning how to ride the bike with two
I
wheels.
thought she was
though.
going to say she was walking.
Oh.
And you walked into a
No.
parked car?
First of all, you were riding your scooter and you tried to do a little hop skip trick and you fell right on your shoulder and scraped your shoulder.
Ooh.
And guess who didn't laugh at you? I felt so bad. So how dare you laugh at my pain? I was right there when you got hit in the head with that freaking swing. Yeah, when you wanted to have one of your episodes, I ain't laugh at you. I fell for you. That's the difference between me and you.
You wasn't even having an episode. You literally saw the car and ran into it.
Listen.
Sometimes the car just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah,
like
and
you just don't know.
No, it didn't come out of
you were not
nowhere.
there.
I am
We
not
were-
gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you the truth. What happened? I thought I could really jump in front of him before I got to the car, but he kept going the same speed as me. And by the time I got to the car, it was just like, bro, I gotta hit this car. There's no other way.
That explains a lot because he does the same thing when he drives now.
Yeah, I run into other people too because sometimes they don't let me get in front of them. Like some people are just so crazy. New York City drivers are not nice. So sometimes you got to crash into them to teach them a lesson. PSA, don't crash your car on purpose. At least I give them that. I give them that. Well, guys, that's it for our little throwback history on the Real Bros, and we got a little real with you. Thank God, nothing brought me to tears. Maybe we'll try that again on another time. Maybe we'll bring a doctor here, a therapist, and really dig deep into it. But until then, you guys are gonna get this. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and it was kind of fun going down memory lane with this big ugly guy.
Just don't go down memory lane with your bike, all right?
Hey,
Ooh.
you're right about that. I'll give you that. So, without further ado, do you have anything else to say to the people before we go?
I just want to say, no matter what happens to you in life, cherish it. Don't look down upon it. Do as I did and take it with you. It's your journey. It's your experience.
It's your story.
It's your story. This is your book. You're writing it. So take it with you and you'll see success later on in life. Even though it may not look like it right now, your time is coming. So just believe you can and it'll happen.
Cue the song. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Why are you acting like you don't know that song, Janae?
Okay.
Anyway. All right, guys. That's a wrap. Until next time, we'll holler at you guys later.
Peace.